You were the easy one, the child who didn't ask for much, the one who stayed quiet when something hurt, the one who learned very early that being low maintenance made life smoother. And people liked you for that. They called you mature, independent, such a good kid. But no one noticed what it cost you, because somewhere along the way, you didn't just become easy to love, you became invisible. Maybe it looked something like this. You wanted a pension, but someone else needed it more, so you stepped back. You felt hurt, but it didn't seem serious enough, so you stayed silent. You needed comfort, but everyone else was already overwhelmed, so you told yourself, it's fine. And you meant it. Or at least you tried to. Because the truth is, you weren't choosing to disappear. You were learning how to stay loved. At first, it felt like a strength. You could handle things on your own. You didn't create problems. You made life easier for everyone around you. But slowly, something started to change. You stopped sharing, stopped expressing, stopped expecting. Not because you didn't have needs, but because you learned they didn't belong. Pause for a second. Think about this. When was the last time you told someone what you really felt, without filtering it first, without softening it, without worrying if it was too much? If that question feels uncomfortable, that's not random. That's the pattern. Here's what most people don't realize. Children don't disappear for no reason. They adapt. If love feels inconsistent, they become perfect. If emotions feel inconvenient, they become quiet. If needs feel ignored, they stop having them. Not consciously, but carefully. Because for a child, love isn't optional. It's survival. So your brain made a deal. If I take up less space, I'll be easier to love. And it worked. That's the part no one talks about. It worked so well that you kept doing it long after you needed to. Now you're older, but the pattern didn't stay in childhood. It followed you. Into your friendships, your relationships, your everyday life. You listen more than you speak. You give more than you receive. You understand everyone, except yourself. And when something bothers you, you hesitate. You overthink. You minimize it. It's not a big deal. I don't want to start anything. Maybe it's just me. So once again, you disappear. It shows up in small ways. You agree when you actually don't. You say it's okay when it's not. You let things slide. Again and again. Not because you're weak, but because somewhere inside you, there's still that quiet belief, if I'm too much, I'll lose them. But here's the part that hurts the most. People don't even realize you're disappearing, because you've gotten so good at it. You smile, you nod, you show up. On the outside, everything looks fine. But inside, there's a slow kind of loneliness. The kind that doesn't come from being alone, but from not being seen. Pause again. Ask yourself this honestly. Do people love you, or do they love the version of you that never asks for anything? That question can change everything. Because this is where the realization begins. You didn't disappear because you're naturally quiet. You didn't become low maintenance by accident. You were trained, conditioned, shaped by moments where being visible didn't feel safe, or didn't feel worth it. So you adapted. And again, that adaptation was intelligent. It protected you. But now, it's costing you. It's costing you real connection. Because people can't meet needs you never express. They can't understand feelings you never show. They can't love parts of you that you keep hidden. So you end up in relationships where you feel unseen. Not because they don't care, but because you were never taught how to be fully visible. And here's the quiet twist. You might think disappearing keeps people close, but over time, it creates distance. Because connection doesn't come from being easy, it comes from being known. There's a difference between being loved and being loved for who you actually are. And if you've spent years shrinking yourself, that difference can feel almost impossible to reach. But it's not. It just starts small. Not with a big confrontation, not with suddenly becoming a different person, but with something much quieter. Something almost uncomfortable. Honesty. The next time something bothers you, don't rush to dismiss it. Sit with it. The next time you feel the urge to say it's fine, pause. Ask yourself, is it really? The next time you want to hide a part of yourself, try revealing just a little more. Not all at once, just enough to remind yourself you're still there. Because you are, even if you've been quiet for a long time, even if you've been invisible in your own life, even if you're not sure who you are without all the adjusting and shrinking, you are still there. And this time, you don't have to disappear to be loved. You just have to risk being seen. a little more than yesterday. That's where everything starts.